Hey guys, we just wrapped our day today at Disneyland. I'm still in the parking structure, the Mickey and Friends parking structure on the top floor. Ian and I just finished our Star Wars Land update. Go watch that on Fresh Baked. I don't want to talk about that right now. I want to talk to you guys. Today, what I want to do today is kind of take you through the stuff that happens after we shoot between now and tonight, Saturday night. It's a whirlwind of action from my perspective. I am the worst date ever on a Saturday night, let me just tell you, because nothing happens other than Fresh Baked editing. So we're gonna leave this parking structure going down the hill right now, and then we'll take you home and show you what's the process that I go through as I start to compile videos and start editing for a regular week of videos on Fresh Baked. Alright guys, we're finally home, and usually the first thing that happens when I get home is I get attacked by my dog Coco. Let's see if she shows up. Where are you at, Coco? I hear you. Hi honey. Hi babies. Are you happy daddy's home? Come here, babies. Who's a good girl? Huh? Yeah, she's home chilling, waiting for daddy to get home. Okay, so we're done playing with the dogs. Now I gotta get my day off of this camera. And of course, obviously, the first step is just getting connected. And then I get to take a break because it takes about an hour or so to download everything. So we're just gonna do that. And while our Fresh Baked day is downloading, I am usually exhausted by the end of the day. We're usually in the parks for like 6 to 8 hours typically, and I am 100% bombed out. So I'm going to take the next hour to take a nap, watch TV, and then we're going to get up and get to work. Enough of that. Let's go to work. By the way, I get asked often, what camera do I use? It's the HDR CX430V. It's got the what do you call it? Balanced optical steady shot, or BOSS. That's what it's. A little thing in there. Well, you can't see it because it's shut, but the lens sits in like a fluid, a viscous fluid that maintains its center of gravity always, so that it reduces all the shake. There's still shake because I'm walking, but it reduces the shake. Let's work. Another question that I'm often asked is, what software do I use? This is it right here. It's Sony Movie Studio Platinum 13. It doesn't have all the bells and whistles of something like a Premiere or what you're using on a Mac, but it has all the bells and whistles that I need. I don't need a lot of stuff to produce the videos the way, the kind of videos that we're producing. And then I keep all of my videos in Windows Photo Gallery. They call it Media Gallery, something like that. It comes free with Windows, and I choose it because it allows me to archive easily. I can import and then easily archive all of my videos. And so for whenever I'm doing, like a best of or a specialty video, I can just choose a date. If I know when something happened and all the videos show up there. I haven't deleted a video ever. I mean, except for broken ones, but everything else I have is archived either here or on an external hard drive. So the first thing we got to do is go to today, 7:30, and that's all the video that we shot today. And I'm just going to drag these over here. And voila. So what I'll do, guys, is I don't edit each video. I don't make a video at a time. The very first thing I do is I edit all the video into one large chunk. You know what? Let's find out how much raw footage we have here. So between Friday and Saturday, I've got 2 hours and 41 minutes of raw footage, and I'm probably going to edit that down to about an hour 45, maybe 2 hours. We did a lot of show this week, and what I'm basically cutting out is just the empty space in between videos, camera on, camera off kind of thing, and then any video or any piece of footage that doesn't assist in pacing and things like that. But for the most part, we keep the majority of our day. The stuff that gets deleted, pacing, or if let's say we do a long show like Mickey and the Magical Map, I'll keep that down. You know what I mean? Like to reduce, to make it so that you're not stuck watching a 20 or 30 minute video. I just give you the highlights. So last night, Friday, we left the park at about 8:30, I think, maybe almost 9 o'clock actually. I don't know what time I got home, but it was about 9 o'clock, and I edited all of our Friday night footage, and that's what you're seeing behind me there. Let's take a look at that real quick. That's Sarah at the new coffee shop in downtown Disney, the new Starbucks. We did, the footage that we shot Friday night, I edited last night. I like I said, I got home about 9 o'clock, started cutting this, and all that took me, I was up till about 12:30, I think, doing this stuff before I finally said, I gotta go to bed. We got Disneyland waiting for us in the morning. But that 3 hours of day, because we were there for about 3 hours, I'd guess, maybe not even that long, took about 3 hours to edit. I should say edit in the sense that I was able to drop it in the video and then cut it, into the little pieces I need. So there's Sarah looking at the park map that's at the Disneyland Hotel, the Fantasy Tower. That's us complaining about the lady kicking us out. we were trying to have lunch over there by the Fantasy Tower or in downtown Disney. Now we're looking at the Lego store, I think. Yeah, Sarah's gonna make a square. So all this stuff is cut into little pieces here, and then I got about 43 minutes of footage from Friday night that'll probably make up about, oh look, we found Maynard, by the way. Watch this. Watch Maynard track me down. See if I can't show this to you. We're walking, and I'm telling, hey Sarah, there's Sarah. Sarah, there's Maynard. Go say hi. And I just wanted her to say hi and just do like a little drive-by, but he saw me. Watch. He sees me with a camera, and he's like, I've got a victim. Here I come. Whoa! That's awesome, right? Maynard is the best. Let me see if I can't grab a freeze frame of Maynard. The little Maynard sighting. So yeah, so I'll take this chunk, this big chunk, and cut it up into segments for the week. We probably got about 4 shows here, maybe 5 at 43 minutes. That could be as many as 5 episodes of Fresh Baked for Friday night only. And we still got Saturday to go. That's what I'm saying. It's going to be a big week because we did a lot of shows Saturday today too. Look at, there he goes. He's saying that she looks like a mermaid. Maynard is such a legend. It's about 4 o'clock, and I'm about ready to get into some editing. I'm going to edit now for maybe an hour, hour and a half, maybe 2, depends. But then we're going to break for dinner, and then I'm going to edit some more, and we'll watch some of that. So I'm going to go get a cup of coffee and get started. Why don't you guys watch a little time lapse of me editing footage? Does that sound like fun? I don't know. We'll see. It may not make the final edit, guys, because this is the video that I'm recording now is going to wind up on one of those screens also. And if the pacing's not right, if it doesn't pace well, then you won't see it. But let me go get my coffee and we'll get started. break time finally. I've been going for about a little over an hour. We have edited maybe a half an hour worth of show, it looks like. That's not bad. That's not bad for an hour. So anyway, time for dinner, and then I'm going to show you how I put together a single video with, all the intros and the outros and all the little subscriber pieces and things like that. All right, back in a bit. Well, guys, I had a lovely dinner, and I'm ready to get back to work. It is about 8:15, and I've got to finish up editing today's video. I'm about 2/3 of the way there, I think. I'll probably wrap this up by about 11 o'clock midnight, and then we can start working on dicing those suckers up into daily videos. But that's not the end, but that's what we're going to show you. That's what we're going to show you today. All right, so right here, we're at the point where Ian and I are talking about a mice chat rumor that they put out last week about Fantasyland and a Frozen attraction somewhere around the chalet. Let's see if we can show you that. Yeah, I'm talking about it there. So our next track, let's see if I select that. Our next track is 82. I'll just drop that sucker right in there. I automatically crossfade just about everything. And after listening to this a bit, hold on. And there's your crossfade right there. Okay, now I'm asking Sarah where we're going. So after listening to this track a little bit, I've realized that half of it is good and the other half is garbage. So I will just trim that. And that's the end of that clip, and I'll just drop the next one. And I just do this rinse and repeat over and over and over. I'll watch this clip, and then I'll cut out the parts I don't want, and then we'll drop in the next clip. So it's kind of interesting in that, when I do these, I live it, and then I edit it, and then when I go back and put them on YouTube, I'll watch it again often just to make sure that everything is right. When I'm putting in all the tags and stuff, and in putting in the title and the description and all that kind of thing. So I really get intimately aware of what I've done throughout the course of a fresh baked day, and that has helped my memory quite a bit when I'm going back and doing videos, like best of type videos. And I remember we did this one thing that one day, and it was about the time that we did this one thing, and I may not know the exact day that it happened or where, but I can, once I see like the thumbnail of that video, or I see the context in which that video was taken when I'm looking through the days, I can pretty much figure out when something happened by going back through over the course of the last 3 or 4 years. It is 11 p.m. I've been going at this since we got back from dinner for about 3 hours, and I have completed all the editing. You can see right there on the left of your screen, that is the entire day edited into little minute-long chunks or whatever you want to, however long they are. But that's a whole bunch of scenes, and now my job is to take that. It's about 2 hours. That's 2 hours worth of video. We went from 240 to 2 hours. So actually, I had a strong day today filming-wise in terms of not a lot of extraneous stuff stuff that I could cut or toss. So that's pretty good. Just about everything that I filmed, you're gonna see on Fresh Baked this week. And most of those cuts are taking down. Like we went to Lincoln today, Great Moments with Lincoln, so I cut that down a little bit because obviously, that's just too long of a show for a daily vlog. Plus, Google yells at me because it's copyright if I make it too long. So now my job is to get in there and turn those into day-long videos, and that's what I'm going to show you now. So this is the part of the process that I've sort of streamlined over the years. I've got my whole day now, and what I'll do is I'll take that day and I'll search for, 8-minute, anywhere from 8 to 10 minute sections that look like it would fit together in one video. You don't want to have stuff, you don't want to have like one ride through cut off at 8 minutes or whatever and take it on to the next day. So that's why that show is very in length, from 7 minutes to, up to 10 or 11 minutes sometimes. It just depends on how long a particular segment runs. So I'm going to take these and cut them down into bits, and I've got a shell. I'll just drop it into a blank show here. So let's, for example, the easy one right off the bat is going to be the Star Wars Land report. That's going to be the first show of the week. So I'll take this one, and where does it end? I'm going to stretch this out a little bit so I can see it. And it ends right here. That's the end of the show. So I'm going to take this whole section, which I can't do one-handed. So hold on. So I've selected all of the Star Wars Land stuff. I'm going to cut it so I know where to start on the next time. And I'll just drop it in here. And that is the basic structure of a single day's video. Now all I have to do in here is drop the trailer, the intro piece, and then at the end I'll drop the outro and the trailer for the next episode. And but first things first, we got segments. So I'm going to do this probably 12 or 13 times depending on how long the segments are for this week. It looks like I've got about 13 shows this week, I'm guessing. So I'm going to save this one and we'll start cutting these up. Well, I knew I had a lot of show this week, but it wound up being 15 parts, you guys. I think that's got to be some kind of... Is that a record? I think that's a record. Man, that's a lot of show. And then a lot of long episodes, too. A lot of 9 and 10-minute episodes. So, man, we got a lot of coverage this week. Okay, so next step before we start putting in the intros and the outros and actually making a renderable video, we're gonna treat the video. The video that you're seeing here is the raw footage. It hasn't been treated at all. And I've got a bunch of presets here for changing the color temperature, the saturation, color correction, that kind of thing. The first thing I'm going to do is change the color temperature, which turns it from a kind of a bluish tint to a warmer orangish glow. It's good. It works just about across the board. It works really well, changing that a little bit. You can see it best in conjunction with all the other changes we're going to make. Next thing is saturation adjustment, which is it's the key colors like reds, blues, and greens get brought out more. In this particular frame, there wasn't a lot of that, so you're not seeing much change there. We're going to do some color correction. It's got a little pinwheel thing here. And we can drag this around to highlight or to accentuate any particular color we want. I've already got that preset. I don't do very extensive corrections here because I want to use a color combination that works across all the videos, so I don't have to change every frame or every slot or every video segment. So I don't do a lot of changes there. But you can see there's a definite change. It kind of works the same way that the color temperature did, but I'm trying to bring out more of the natural oranges colors in those. And then finally, brightness and contrast. This is probably the key thing. I like to darken the film a little bit to give it more. It makes it pop a little more. When you have a higher or when you don't adjust the brightness and contrast, the colors look flatter. So I add a brightness and contrast change there to sort of enrich and deepen the colors. I have an option here for white balance. I have a preset for that also, but that makes it too orange typically. I only use that when my white balance is off with the stuff I filmed. Sometimes I have the white balance off when I'm filming, and I have to correct that. So that's what this is for, is to correct any errors I made in the original white balance. So that's done. I also adjust the audio. I combine the left and right channels into one so that there's no split. Sometimes if I don't do that, then sometimes you don't get audio on the left ear or the right ear. I combine the tracks to avoid that. Okay, so now we're ready to start building an actual video here. So this is last week's. This is last week's videos, and you can see this section right here. Those are all the birthday announcements. I've got to type in the name for each one. There's a little text field there for each one of those, and then there's an image for the muffin and an image for the text for the actual happy birthday text, and then that's the text for the person's name. If you'll notice, if I can just turn that off, and the name disappears. So that's how we do that. I've got a spot for, this is the intro here. This is a prefabbed intro that I can just copy and paste. This was really difficult to produce, actually. Well, back then when I made it, I didn't know what I was doing back then, but I managed to figure it out. But splitting all this stuff up so so it has those, the frames, the 1, 2, 3 frames that we do there was kind of difficult for me. And then we've got the subscribe cue. And then here's the outro with Woody, and then these are all the little social media stuff. You can see again here, we can turn that off and on if we want, depending on, you know, how we want things to look. But of course we're not going to do that, but that's just basically how that works. And then the last piece is the trailer for the next episode. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to copy the intro, and then I'm just going to bring it over here. Paste that in, and then drag this over to make it, you know, crossfade into the, watch how I blend these two things together. That's how it creates the fade, the crossfade. And then I've got to, and then I'm going to do the same. I'm going to copy all these over, and I'm going to fill in the birthday announcements with this week's stuff, and I'm going to copy the subscribe and the outro and all that. And that's it. We've got, I don't know, like, you know, after I put in all the intros and the outros, I got to do that 15 more times for this week. And we'll have a week's worth of episodes. It's getting late though now, so I'm probably going to call it a night and then pick this up tomorrow morning. And I'll be working all day Sunday, getting everything prepped and rendered. Usually the rendering, it takes, I don't know, an hour to render each one of these. And by rendering, you mean the making of the actual MP4. It takes about an hour to render each one, and then another hour to upload it. So that's, you know, 30 hours of of stuff I gotta do. I mean, I can do stuff while it's rendering, but then again, I also can't, because the rendering chews up cycles on the computer, and everything just gets dragged down. So I do a lot of rendering overnight. I'll render a couple of videos overnight, and then throughout the day. And then also the master file that I submit to Patreon, the uncut 2-hour version of this show, I'll render that probably tonight, because I have that done now, and that takes about 14 hours to render, and then another probably 8 hours to upload, I think, onto YouTube. So it's kind of a long process that, you know. It just takes. Liz and Candy will attest. I tend to veg out on this machine, you know, editing stuff all night, especially Saturdays and Sundays, because I feel like I got to get as much done as possible on Saturdays and Sundays, because then I have to spend the rest of the week, while I'm not working my day job, editing the uploaded files. I got to put all the tags and the titles and descriptions. I've got to put the annotations, the little boxes that you can click if you want to subscribe or, you know, go to a different video, and the cards that show up at the end. I mean, it is just nonstop work. But I tell you what, I love this process so much. I love making YouTube videos, and that's why I wanted to show you, because it's a labor of love. It's, you know, so the guy was doing a podcast once, and guy asked me about editing videos and if I get sick of it, and I'm like, no, that's the editing is one of my favorite parts of this process. I don't know why that is. I'm a grinder. I can put my head down and just grind for hours and hours and hours on something that I'm passionate about. And making these videos is something I'm passionate about, and giving them to you guys and showing you guys the best of Disney Bake Fresh Daily.